Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. If you're watching this, it's very dark in here, and you may hear boys laughing in the background because my kiddo has a friend over. So I am recording this actually in the evening, and with daylight savings, everything gets dark so early, and I hate it, but this is what we do. For those of you who are my loyal podcast followers, thank you to you. You probably noticed that I haven't been doing as great in the past few weeks with every week episodes. I've missed, I think, a couple in the past couple of months. And that is for absolutely no reason other than just been really busy and haven't been planning ahead like I normally do. I have been super busy in my private practice and just the holidays, family, all kinds of things happening. I was doing so well. I had so many episodes saved up. And then because I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to record with guests. And I haven't even had a chance to record by myself, which is why I'm recording this for you right now on a Saturday night at like 6 o'clock. But I wanted to definitely get an episode out for you this coming week. Today's podcast topic. So I had several to choose from, and I decided to go with one that I made a post about on Facebook or all my social medias this week, which is about just how hard it is as a parent to have to watch our kids go through something knowing that we just have to let them go through it, right? Like there are certain things that we do as parents to insulate our children from struggle, whether it's, stop them from doing something before they get hurt or quickly swoop in and fix something that they've done or help them through something that they've done. But then there's so many things in parenting in our journey as parents that we just don't have the ability to do that for. Like some things we choose to just let the kid make the mistake, right? Like I'm not going to fix this for you, or I'm not going to, keep telling you not to do this. You're just going to have to do it and learn the hard way, right? And there are other things that no matter how badly we want to, we just can't. Like it's out of our hands. Either it happens when we're not around, or our kids at our stage of life where we're not able to helicopter. We shouldn't be helicoptering, but we're not able to oversee, whether it's because they're just not with us at the time, or they're older and they're not in our home, right? And so that's what I was talking about on my post on social, was that like whether you have a toddler or you have a fully grown child, like your parenting journey never stops. It changes. It looks different along this lifespan, but you never stop parenting. And even if it's just worrying from a distance, or thinking about or hoping for goodness, or sending money, love, support, whatever, calling, all the things. So your journey as a parent is ongoing, and it's different for different families, the involvement that you have. But thinking of like my kiddo, right? My husband and I have a 12-year-old son, and even at the age of 12, like there's so much stuff that we just are having to support him through. It's just day-to-day stuff, right? Like going to school and maybe having, don't feel good. Okay, well, you got to go to school anyway, right? Like, oh, you have a headache. Oh, you didn't sleep enough, or whatever. You still have to go, and all you want to do is be like, okay, stay home and sleep and be happy and be comfortable. But instead, you got to suck it up and go. Or hey, someone's being, mean at school, or someone, my kids go through so many things, right? Like the bullying, the struggling academically, the feeling left out of something, just all kinds of things, not being invited to something, whatever. So I think of a lot of the kids that I work with, and I think of my kiddo, and think of family, friends, the things that we have to support our kids through. It just never stops, and that's great because that's our role. But the things that we can't fix for our kids also never stops, and that is part of our role too. Our kid was recently struggling with math, and I struggled with math. Math has never been my thing, and I felt so stupid as a kid. It's a word, I use that intentionally. It's not a good word, but I did. I felt very, very stupid. And I see that sometimes in my kid. I have a kid who is just like kind of school comes naturally to him, but not math, right? Like he can try very, very minimally at all his subjects and get, A's and B's. But math is a struggle, and so he's not used to that. And so watching him have to work through what that does to him on a self-esteem, confidence level and all of that, like that's hard. It's hard as a parent to not be able to protect our kids from feeling those things. And then think of like, I mean, if you're a parent, then I'm sure you can think of some things for your kids. But, I think of parents who have kids who are bullied or are don't have friends. Maybe they have a learning disability or some other kind of disability that sets them apart from other kids and they're ostracized or treated differently. Or you may have a kid that struggles with something more quiet, internal, maybe some anxiety or, another kind of maybe a health problem, all kinds of things. And again, there are certain things that we can do to protect our kids or to help our kids and comfort them, and then immediately they feel better. But then there's a longer list of things I think that we can't do anything about. We just have to be there for our kids, even if that means crying with them or rubbing their back while they cry or just giving them the love and comfort. And I think that's really hard. And I've spoken to a lot of parents over the years, and even just thinking of my current clients, like just parents who just kind of see their kids going through some stuff, and then it leads to us as parents feeling helpless and feeling sad. Our own anxiety starts to develop, worried, mad. You feel the range of emotions as a parent who can't protect your kid from hardship, right? And it's so hard because it's not about you as the parent, it's about the kid. But as parents, we also feel things, and it's hard to separate that sometimes. I'd love to say, well, this isn't about me. I shouldn't worry. It's going to be fine. But that's not how we're wired, right? As parents, we're not wired to see our children struggle and dismiss that and be like, well, it's their fault. They'll figure it out, right? And even if it is their fault, or their problem or whatever, because some things that our kids struggle with are by their own doing, right? It's repeated bad choices or not heeding our warning or whatever, and something bad happens, and then they have to live with the consequences. But whether it's something they've done that is a natural consequence of a behavior, or if it's something that's done to them, or just something out of everyone's control, as parents, we feel it. And, I think that for me as a parent, I have had to learn. I mean, I can't tell you that I'm perfect at this because I'm definitely not, and I struggle a lot, but just having to learn to live sometimes in the discomfort of, I can't do anything about this. I can't fix this, right? There are certain things that, after a good night's sleep, you can come up with a different solution. Maybe you pull on other resources in your community or professionals or whatever. But there's some stuff that's like, today, right now, I have to be able to let my kid just be in this misery. And yes, I can sit and comfort and love and support, but it's not going to make it go away. No amount of comforting words or support are going to make this particular thing that your kid is going through better. And that's hard. It's really hard. So, what do we do about that? I think there are a lot of things that we can try. I think we never stop trying. As parents, our, superpower is creativity, and we always have to try to find a different approach. But sometimes we just have to accept that it's not a reflection on us when we can't help our kids. If you're the kind of person that for one reason or another you're not able to support your kid through certain things, like maybe you are personally triggered by something that your kid is going through, and so you need to step away and someone else needs to step in. Okay, that happens. Try to work through it. Try to find someone who can help. But as far as just being able to be in the place of, I'm trying everything, I've done everything, seeking outside support is always there, right? If it's consulting a friend, consulting a family member, we can never really quit trying as parents. And so those two things can coexist, right? So two things can be true at once. I can be creative and continue to try to find ways to support my kid, whether it's, doing something for them, finding something that will help, finding someone else that will help. I can continue to seek options. And at the same time, I can accept that there's nothing I can do to fix this. And so I have to be easy with the expectation, right? So I know that sounds a little complicated. Let me explain. So what I mean is always keep your eye out for opportunity, consult. If you're trying to help your kid with something and it's not working, we never just quit and say, well, I'm not going to try to find alternatives. You keep your eyes open, you research, you find other people. So you always are trying to find ways to support your kid. But at the same time, you have to just live in the moment where a solution is not found and the issue still exists and the struggle is still there. We do have to just learn to live in that moment with that discomfort, because there's nothing we can do about it, right? So I can be like, okay, right now this sucks. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to give my kid some support, I'm going to give my kid some love, but that's all I can give him right now. I can't make this any better, so I have to accept that right now that's as good as it's going to get. But simultaneously, maybe behind the scenes, I'm doing some research. I'm trying to find other solutions. I'm trying to consult other people, getting some other help. So we still find options. And then, yes, sometimes we hit a point where it's like there's nothing else. That's it. That's all we can do. So now we just learn to wait it out, or continue doing what we're already doing. Maybe if the solution is just something that's going to be a time thing, right? I can keep implementing this, I will do this, but the benefit or the progress is not going to come for a while. And so then, yes, we do have to live in this. So let's go back to the math example, right? So there's nothing I can do today to bring up a bad math grade. I mean, unless there's something obvious like do the homework, turn it up, right? But like assuming that it's just a struggle that comes from, not understanding the material, or this not being a strength of theirs, or whatever, then what we can do is say, okay, I can get you a tutor, and we're going to work with that tutor pretty regularly. But at the end of the day, your struggle with math is not going to go away right now. I have to watch you struggle. I will do what I can to support you, whether that's bringing it in myself. I'm actually going to pause this because I have a really important call coming in. Pause. Okay, I'm back. So I could edit this out, but I'm actually going to keep it because it's real life. I just had a call from our, I'll tell you, it's from our vet, our dog, one of our dogs. If you saw my other video on social media the other day, on Thursday, we had a little bit of a rough day with our big Great Dane, throwing up a lot. He was sick. We ended up taking him in on Friday, and he ended up having to have emergency surgery because he ate something he shouldn't have eaten and it got stuck. So he's been there since yesterday. So it's Saturday night right now. He's been there since Friday, and we were hoping we could bring him home tonight, but he is still there. They're going to keep him one more day. So he's a giant dog, and the recovery from his surgery has just been a little bit harder. So that's the call I stopped to take, and that's why I'm not editing it out, because that's life. So it's just, but here, it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Except my other pet is my pet is my other child. Like I can't fix this for my dog either. I can't fix this for my kid who's worried about my dog, right? So this is a perfect example. This dog is my son's like dog. Like he sleeps in his room, in his bed. We're talking about a 150-pound dog that sleeps in my 12-year-old, 100-pound child's bed. And they do everything together, and they are buddies. And now I have had to try to help my kid, who has lost pets before, get through the worry and the anxiety of his dog having emergency surgery, not being home for over 24 hours, and we'll hopefully get him home in the morning, but we're not sure, right? And that is another one of those things that right now, as a parent, I can't fix. I can't fix that for my kid. I can't, I can reassure him as much as I want to, but at the end of the day, I can't fix it. I can't make the anxiety go away. I can't make the worry go away. I can't, I just can't fix it. So it's tough, because then even myself as a person, right? So that was me as a mom, and now me as a person. I have my own worries about this dog. I love this dog. I don't want anything to happen to him. So I have to manage my own feelings about it while also trying to be a really good mom. And knowing that my husband's worried, so as a parent, as a mom, I am dealing with my own feelings, and I'm the holder of all the things, right? Like I want to make sure everyone else is okay, and I'm take the phone calls and do the things, right? So it's very difficult to make decisions when we're having to manage our own emotions and also manage or help the emotions of those around us that we love. And so, and no matter what it is that you are trying to protect your kid from, you also have your own emotional reaction to all of those things. And that is hard. And no matter what you do, you cannot insulate yourself from that. You can't be so strong all the time that you feel nothing. I mean, that's not possible, right? You're going to feel all the things. And so I think at the end of the day, again, we seek all, options and creative solutions, but sometimes we just have to sit in that discomfort and just get through it. And now I have another dog scratching at my door. Hold on, I have to open this for him. Parenting is happening, real life. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually really glad that call happened while I was talking to you, because I think it helped me come up with a very real live example as to all what we're talking about. So what do we do about this, folks? Even this dachshund right here in my lap that just came in, he's different, right? He's missing Hagrid. He wants the dog to come home, but I'm sure on some level he enjoys being an only dog. So everyone feels it, right? So what do we do? What do we do when we can't, as a parent, we can't shield our kids from the things, right? We talked about creativity, but let's talk about emotions, right? Like, what do we do to deal with that emotion, right? So for us as parents, we have to learn how to have some grace for ourselves, because again, we can't fix everything. And I think as a parent, you might feel guilt or sense of responsibility. And I think a lot of the times we try to fix things, right? So if your kid is struggling with something, sad about something, worried about something, you might find yourself just trying to fix it, right? Like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Don't think about that. Put that out of your mind. Like, we can't worry about that right now. We need to focus on something else. Okay. There's a time and a place for that. I think sometimes that's really important. Distraction is really important. But then there's a time to just sit in it, right? Where you just cry. You just cry together, or like let your kid cry. Let your kid deal. Being able to just say, that sucks. I'm really sorry that happened. And then just let them feel it, let them talk about it, let them get it out. It's okay to explore it, right? So I think a lot of the times we try to change the subject because we don't want them to worry about it, but that's not always great. Sometimes we have to go deeper and be like, okay, well, tell me what happened. Tell me how you felt. I'm really sorry that happened. What happened then? Just let them get it out, because if they don't get it all the way out, it's just going to resurface at a different time. It's going to come up when you're there, when you're not there, or they may not want to bring it up because they may pick up on the fact that every time this thing comes up, you change the subject. And so maybe they want to protect you from your discomfort, right? So sometimes when we can't protect our kids from something, just by letting them walk through it with our support and our comfort, that is how we get them through it. It's a learning opportunity. It builds resilience, right? And so sometimes we help them build resilience by just being there and supporting them through it. And sometimes we build resilience by having to take a step back and just letting them go through it on their own, because you cannot be there to protect your kid from everything. Sometimes they're just going to go to bed mad, or they're just going to go to bed sad. And while that's unfortunate, and we try to always go to bed okay, that's not always the case, right? Or sometimes it is your adult child that's living far from you, and they're going through a hardship, and there is literally nothing you can do about it. And you just have to sit in that. You just have to feel it. So again, grace for yourself, remembering that responsibility is a very complicated word when it comes to certain things. We can't be responsible for everything, right? And as parents, as moms, we like to take responsibility for everything, but that's just not possible. So if you can't fix it, sometimes it's not your responsibility to fix it, not because you don't care, because that's just not how the world works. You cannot fix everything, right? So if all you can do is be there, be supportive, be loving, be caring, sometimes that's like the most important part of your job, is just be there, you know? And sometimes walking away and saying, well, I guess they're going to have to learn this the hard way. That's also a really important part of your job. And that's how you build resilience for your children. So I think I'm going to make this a short episode. I think I'm going to wrap this up because I think I covered most of this. And I hope that this was helpful to you. I think we can all relate to having the desire to protect our kids from everything that could possibly be hard and just facing the reality that we can't. So, if this is something that's going on for you, I hope that you have the strength to get through it and that you can do what you can for your kids and for yourself and then just ride it out. All right. I hope you have a great rest of your day and I'll talk to you later. Bye.